Welcome to Advantage Leadership Coaching's training, high-performing remote teams that achieve results. I'm Barbara Jordan, and I'm a leadership coach who helps aspiring women break through their glass ceiling, and an executive recovery coach helping executives and other high-income, high-profile leaders struggling with addiction. Before I get started, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Would you like to bring your team members together in a virtual environment? And would you like to coach your team to develop high performance skills while working remotely? Well, if you answered yes, you've come to the right place. I am going to teach you the concepts that have allowed me to literally transform the lives of hundreds of leaders like yourself and advance their careers. I want to start by promising you that I have some outstanding offers for those of you who watch the entire video. If you stick around to the end, I promise to offer you some great deals. 80% of success is what? Showing up, right? Yes, thank you. Give yourself a pat on the back and say, way to go, you showed up. That means you're over 2/3 of the way there. And I'd like to thank you for interrupting your schedule and taking the time to be here. I'm going to honor that commitment by making sure your time here today is spent wisely. How does that sound? As long as you're spending your precious time here today, would you like to learn faster? And would you like to remember more of what you learn? There's an age-old saying, what I hear, I tend to forget. What I see, I tend to remember. But what I do, I understand. And research shows the key to remembering and understanding what you learn is what? Participation and involvement. So the more you get involved today with this video, the more you'll learn and remember what you've learned. By the way, do you notice I ask a lot of questions? Why do you suppose I do that? Yes, because questions get you involved. Let me ask you this. Do you have clients? Or do you have employees? So what do you do if you want those clients or employees to listen and get involved? You ask them questions, right? Yes, thank you. You may also notice I leave the last word off the end of a sentence and your mind fills in the what? Blank. Yes, well done. Urging you to fill in the blanks is another way I encourage your involvement. You may also notice that I repeat things or ask you to do the same. Now, why would I ask you to repeat things? Again, for involvement, so you can learn faster and remember more of what you learn. Repetition is critical to learning. Besides, if I say something, it means one thing, but if you say it, it means everything. Since we're spending this time together today, would you mind if I shared a little bit about myself? After all, you may be asking yourself, who is Barbara Jordan and why should I listen to her? Well, the reason I'm so passionate about this stuff is that I love to help people grow and improve. To do this, I obtained degree after degree, certification after certification, and license after professional license. If you visit my home, you'll see library shelves full of leadership development and personal and professional growth books. I have been studying human development, behavior, and performance for 25 years. I've taught 16 different courses at the college level. And as an author, leadership coach for women, and executive recovery coach for leaders struggling with addiction, I thought I had it all. I was on my way to the top, so it seemed. Despite pursuing all that knowledge, skill, and experience, I felt stuck in my career. After a series of unfortunate events, including both parents' deaths and a nasty divorce, I lost my business. I knew what I had to do, I just didn't do what I knew. How many of you been there? You knew you were meant for something more. You could do more, be more, and have more. As a student, I was on the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. With 3 professional degrees, 3 certificates, and professional licenses, I was the greatest overeducated underachiever. I have more letters behind my name than the bowl of alphabet soup. As a perfectionist with an imposter mindset, I was afraid my friends wouldn't like me, my parents and children wouldn't respect me, and potential business prospects had no interest in me. Like many successful women in leadership, I felt like a fraud, thinking that if only they knew the truth, the people who admire and respect me would reject me. In fact, I was afraid of failure in so many areas of my life that by focusing on those doubts and fears, I was actually attracting those very same things. Have you heard of the law of attraction? Well, whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you think about, you bring about. And whatever you visualize, you materialize. Where your attention goes, your energies flow, and your results show. That, my friends, is the law of attraction. Growing up, I was taught to get good grades, work hard, and you'll make it. I swore I was doing all the right things. I was a good person, operated my business with integrity, helped everyone I could along the way. So how did I get to the point where I was shaking my purse and searching the couch cushions for coins? I came to a point where I fell to my knees and prayed, Lord, help me see what I'm doing wrong. I reached for my Bible and it automatically opened to Proverbs 17:16. Why should fools have money to buy wisdom when they aren't able to understand it? Then it opened to Matthew 7:8. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds. And for the one who knocks, the door will be opened. Holy crap, I thought, that's it. I was seeking more and more skill sets, knowledge, and information when all I needed to focus on was changing my mindset and achieving transformation. I needed to ask better questions, ask for help, knock on doors, and focus on what I wanted so I could get more of it. You see, you can have all the knowledge and skills in the world, but if you don't have the right mindset, you're going to sabotage yourself. Then I decided to challenge and change my negative, self-limiting, disempowering thoughts and beliefs. Another way of putting it is, you can have all the leadership tools in the world, but that won't make a difference if your toolbox, in other words, your mindset, is too small and weak. All right, let's get started. In today's business world, it's imperative to push the envelope on ways to increase productivity without letting your work relationships suffer or your products or services suffer. Assembling a high-performance team of well-trained remote employees is another way you can increase productivity while maintaining quality. A huge performance or a high-performance team can be used in many areas of a company. The tasks for the team could be as simple as sending out mailers or as extensive as creating a new software system. Understanding the characteristics of a high-performance team is one of our workshop benefits. You'll also learn or gain leadership skills to develop teamwork in a virtual environment. Use technology to communicate with your teleworkers. Train members of high-performing remote teams and learn skills to manage your virtual team while facilitating effective virtual team meetings. As a society, we have had a major advance in technology over the past 30 years. Technological innovations make it more and more possible to accommodate business practices that weren't possible in the past. Technology helps make remote work easier and more efficient. As we advance in technology, we're also advancing other areas of our lives. No longer is it mandatory for a company to have a rigid work schedule. Allowing flexible schedules and remote employees increases productivity in a company and employee morale. Here are some of the advantages or pros of working remotely. Remote working comes with a series of advantages that should be considered, as well as the disadvantages. One of the biggest pros, a happier, productive workforce. A Stanford study found that remote workers were more productive because they weren't distracted by office disruptions or long commutes and actually took fewer sick days and shorter breaks. Additionally, remote workers had higher job satisfaction, which led to a 50% reduction in attrition rates. The cherry on top was a savings of nearly $2,000 per employee in overhead costs by reducing the amount of office space needed at headquarters. According to a State of Remote Work report for 2019, full-time remote workers are happier than on-site employees. According to the same report, remote workers stay with the company longer. As such, the flexibility offered by working from home is extremely appreciated by employees. This leads to people who are more invested in the company's future, and people who don't feel the need to look around for something better. Access to better talent is another advantage of having a teleworking workforce. Right now, the workforce is going through a significant change with COVID. The older generation are retiring as well, while millennials are taking over. As expected with most major changes, there is friction arising from different perspectives in the workplace. The generation that's leaving considers the 9-to-5 experience as the optimal work experience, while millennials are happier with flexible hours and remote working. They are also more interested in companies that value their employees and proactively invest in their happiness. This means that your company has better chances of impressing the young workforce if you are comfortable with working from home. You're not limiting yourself to who is best for the job position in your area either. With a remote employee, you are able to get the best person for the position, period. Opportunity for cost savings is another pro of working remotely. Fewer people in the office means lower maintenance and energy costs for the company. It also could mean paying a smaller office space or eliminating this expenditure altogether. A recent global workplace analysis study says that a regular business can save around $11,000 per person per year by providing employees with remote work possibilities. So it's a win-win situation for employees and their employers. Reduced turnover and positive employer brand is another advantage. Top talent is increasingly looking for flexible work options, including at least partial remote work schedules. Companies that offer remote work strengthen their employer brand and can attract and retain employees in a competitive market. In fact, 54% of office workers say they'd leave their job for one that offers flexible work time. Gallup found that workers are increasingly likely to favor jobs that offer flexible work time. And as remote work becomes more common, businesses that don't offer flexible work options will become unusual and less attractive to employees. Decrease in time off is another advantage. Offering remote employees employment in a telework environment also helps them with a decrease in time off. Employees who work from home call in less because they are not affected or impacted by as many communicable diseases like colds, flus, and viruses that they would have come into contact within the office. They also don't have to worry about being unable to work during inclement weather. These are just a few of the examples of how remote employees benefit the company. But remote working also comes with a number of cons or disadvantages, the first of which is low productivity and motivation. One of the cons is that remote team members can suffer from a lack of motivation, which leads to lower productivity. However, this shouldn't be taken as a failure of the work from home arrangement. It's a normal side effect of changing the work environment. In addition, the lack of motivation can be a bit more accentuated if the change happens too fast, as it did in the COVID-19 scenario. The situation can be solved by implementing various strategies to support coworkers, which we'll discuss in a bit. Social isolation is another disadvantage or con of working remotely. Without taking daily office interactions or without daily office interaction, remote workers are more prone to being socially isolated. Of course, the situation is worsened by the social isolation restrictions associated with the pandemic. But still, we can use modern communication tools and strategies to help each other create real connection, even if the interaction is mostly online. Greater risk of security breaches is another disadvantage. The COVID-19 pandemic has had strong implications in the IT world. More people are using tools for remote work. The interest in online courses has increased. And internet and streaming services are on the rise, just to name a few of the effects. But experts warned businesses, organizations, and governments everywhere that we should expect a rise in cybercriminality. And as predicted, the number of scams, phishing attacks, data breaches, and more has skyrocketed. Cyber attackers use people's needs for information and anxiety and a lack of cybersecurity knowledge against them. They are also attacking video conference software to exploit any vulnerability in software applications. In this case, the best way to prevent these problems is education. Your employees need to know the risks associated as they expose themselves and the company when they don't follow in-place security protocol for remote workers. While these issues may have been highlighted during the pandemic, there is a general rule that applies at any time. Remote workers come in many forms, and there are few limits to what they can do. There isn't a set type of work that you can offer for a remote workforce. There are many jobs that can be performed by remote workers. When choosing if an employee is right for telework, it's best to decide if the job requires his or her physical presence. Will the employee not being available or physically there hinder the job getting done? Most companies have various strategies to keep employees motivated and energized when working on-site. But the situation changes when we're talking about remote team members who don't physically interact with each other or their managers. Remote workers need a slightly different approach, one that includes some of these tools and strategies on this slide. Number one, establish clear goals and expectations. Keep in mind that your employees are adjusting to a new work environment that requires a bit of extra effort when it comes to communication. Also, the lack of direct supervision and a more relaxed environment can cause some delays and confusion. To make sure everyone knows what they have to do and when they have to do it. This is very important. Establish clear guidelines. Conducting daily meetings where employees briefly state what they've accomplished yesterday and their tasks for tomorrow can help keep everyone on the same page and identify challenges and roadblocks before they get out of hand. This allows employees to structure their time around expected deadlines and milestones, giving structure to their workdays while still allowing a great degree of flexibility. For managers, this means having an oversight of each person's required tasks and communicating this to the team clearly. This approach also helps prevent managers needing to excessively supervise or micromanage their staff. Allow flexibility. The reason why remote workers are happier with this arrangement is flexibility. Let's say you have a remote worker. He knows he needs to finish a report by 4. His schedule is otherwise open for the day, so as long as he respects the deadline and delivers quality work, he can decide to take a break. He could go for a walk in the park with his dog, or he could go to the gym earlier than usual, in a world where we're allowed to do so. This is not possible in the office, where people must be on site during the workday. So even if it's an easy day with not so much to do, you can't take advantage of it. The manager of a team or business must trust that once provided with clear guidelines, people will know what they have to do and by when. The secret is to switch the focus from tasks to goals. The complete opposite of this would be to install tracking software on remote workers' devices and ask them to send out hourly reports of their progress. Now, this strategy would create a pretty tense environment that would lead to a loss of trust and loyalty. We're not going to do that. Develop and maintain transparency. This is another strategy for engaging remote employees. According to the monthly Remish Live series report, there are employees who feel their company's transparency and communication improved during COVID-19. The percentage differs from one generation of workers to another, but it speaks about a major problem in today's company, a lack of transparency. While we agree there are aspects you can't share with the entire staff, it's important to provide everyone with access to basic information. This also means keeping remote workers in the loop. A great example of open and transparent communication comes from companies that created special pages or group chats where employees could ask questions and express concern. This strategy is especially impressive in the current social context. More strategies for engaging remote employees. Emphasize teamwork and give credit where it's due. Due to video conferencing software, chat tools, and cloud storage, teamwork is possible for remote team members. For instance, with tools like Google Drive and Slack, you can have people located in different countries working in the same presentation in real time. However, the distance and lack of face-to-face interaction or conversation can produce an imbalance in how much people share and how involved they get. To promote teamwork with a healthy balance, keep track of everyone's progress and reward them if their efforts are worthy. Also, reward teams who prove efficient in working remotely and encourage the ones that have communication issues. Stay connected. Whether you do it online or offline, person-to-person connection is important. While social distancing is still in place, you can organize various online informal meetings to play a game or just have a heart-to-heart with a few colleagues. When employees can meet face-to-face again, make sure that those who remain as remote workers are always invited to events. Also, it helps to have outings with the entire team, both on-site and remote members, from time to time. This way, people have the chance to meet each other and learn about their colleagues in person, not just through a screen. Stay connected through technology. Keep your remote employees connected through effective communication channels and strategic use of technology. For example, use tools like Skype, Asana, GoToMeeting, and Slack to streamline communication and project management between team members so everyone is on the same page. Encourage your team to use the cloud for file sharing and to increase seamless work efforts between all team members. Be sure to take advantage of video conferencing too. While email and digital chat are great ways to keep in touch, face-to-face communication can help your virtual team feel more present in the office environment. Schedule staff meetings and incorporate video calls with screen sharing on a regular basis. This can help your remote workers feel as though they are part of the team, and it can help to change the way your in-house staff members view remote workers. Foster social interaction. Despite the many benefits of remote work, the number one drawback of employees complained of was loneliness. Keep your remote employees engaged by fostering team connections through those social hours, video chats, and virtual team building activities. Assign members to new hires so employees have someone they can rely on to ask questions and get oriented through their first year. If possible, plan in-person team or company retreats and outings to strengthen those connections. Show employees you care. Build meaningful relationships with your remote employees and give them permission to create balance. Respect their time by setting healthy boundaries around schedules, assignments, and performance expectations. Make the time to chat with them about their family and life outside of work, personal hobbies, and life inside work. Stress and mental health or emotional issues as well. Their workload, as well as avoiding burnout, can be other points of conversation. Lastly, ask for and listen for feedback. Communicate with employees when you take action or why you won't be taking action on their feedback so they know they have been heard and their opinion is valued. When employees feel valued, they are happier and more engaged at work. And don't shy away from giving constructive feedback. Help employees take advantage of developmental opportunities. More strategies for engaging remote employees. Recognize employee contributions. Remote teleworkers tend to put in more hours than their in-office counterparts, but they often don't feel part of the team. One solution is to make employee recognition a priority. Leverage an online recognition platform to give every employee their ability to view, comment on, and give recognition in real time. My experience is that employee recognition is a top driver for employee engagement. Regular recognition from peers and managers helps employees feel connected, appreciated, and valued. Keep them in the know. It's important to keep your remote workers updated on project goals, team progress, and company news. Since a lot of information at companies gets circulated through water cooler chats across desks, or remote employees can easily get left out of the loop and feeling disconnected. Use an employee-friendly goal setting and tracking system to give everyone access to company goals, progress updates, new projects, and more. Check in regularly with remote employees for both one-on-ones and team meetings so everyone has a chance to touch base and keep their finger on the pulse of the company. When remote workers are part of the dialogue, they will be empowered in their work and feel more connected and engaged. Support your newest hires. Our research found that 76% of new hires felt less equipped to do their job compared to 85% of tenured employees. In other words, new hires need extra support when working remotely. Managers should provide additional training, communication, and resources to support new employees who are working remotely. And do that through onboarding. This includes making sure employees have access to information like login credentials and document access, clear training on process and technology tools, equipment, and resources to do their job. In this next slide, we want to take a moment to reflect on the last 3 slides and come up with 2 ideas that you can apply on the job. What are 2 specific strategies for engaging your remote employees? And specify how you will apply each of those 2 concepts. I'm just going to pause for a bit while you do that. I mean, really write it down. I'm going to pause for you to get a pen, a paper, and actually write it down. The more that you do, again, the more you learn. All right, let's take a look at a case study that demonstrates some of these ideas and concepts. Zoe has just been promoted to the department manager at her company. She's very excited and has a lot of ideas on how to improve some of the processes. Due to COVID and being forced to shut down many work units, one of the main changes she is responsible for is implementing or deploying teleworking and new employees in a teleworking or remote environment. She's done research on how to make this happen, deploy existing employees, and hire new remote workers. She took a lot of steps to make remote employees a great asset to her team. For example, after many resumes and interviews, she decides that Abigail would be the perfect person for the job. Abigail lives a few states away, but her resume and work history are impeccable. Abigail is very excited to have found this job opportunity, as she's been looking for a position for a while now that would allow her to take care of her child who has spina bifida and needs special care. Here are a few questions to help you process this information and learn it at a deeper level, and also to test your knowledge. Number 1, why does offering remote work positions attract a better quality of staff? Is it because you can get the cheapest worker? Because you aren't limiting yourself to staff available in the area? Because people who work remotely can't cause office drama? Or because remote workforce doesn't attract better staff? Second question is, why do remote employees call in sick less often? Because they don't have a supervisor to call into? Because no one can tell if they're doing their job? Because no one remembers what they're supposed to do? Or because they come in less contact with sick employees? Here are the answers to these questions. Number 1, why does offering remote work positions attract a better quality of staff? Because you're not limiting yourself to staff available in the area. One of the biggest benefits that offering remote jobs helps your company attract a better quality of staff. You're not limiting yourself to who is best for the job position in your area. Number 2, the answer of why do remote workers call in sick less often is D, because they come in less contact with sick employees. Employees who work from home call in less because they are not affected by as many communicable diseases like colds or flus or viruses as they would have come in contact with in the office. Here's what you can expect from our full-length program. We will go in depth in many different areas in addition to what we talked about today. For example, we will talk about high-performance teams and what is a high-performance team? What are the benefits of having one and how can you lead one? High-performance teams aren't a new concept. There are a lot of different ways a high-performing team of remote employees could benefit a company. In the full-length program, we will discuss what a high-performance team is, the benefits of having one, and how to lead one with specific strategies. You will also learn how to create teamwork despite the distance, communicating effectively both virtually and in person, training your remote team, managing your virtual team confidently and competently, facilitating effective virtual team meetings, keeping happy, motivated, high-performing teams, and leadership pitfalls to avoid with virtual teams. In summary, high-performing teams, remote teams, are an asset to many companies. Please review the points we discussed and place any skill sets you may need and add to your action plan in the next slide. This will be a key tool to guide your progress in the days, weeks, months, and years to follow. So in summary, what we've learned today: to engage remote teams, establish clear boundaries, expectations, and goals, allow flexibility, develop and maintain transparency, emphasize teamwork and give credit where it's due, stay connected and foster social interaction, show employees you care, keep them in the know, and support your newest hires. So now what? How can you apply this? Now, going back to your individual learning plan or individual leadership development plan, we can plant some of these insights or place some of these insights into your plan. One thing you learned today: something wasn't new to you, but you were reminded of. And 2 things you need to work on specifically. I will allow you a couple minutes and again pause so that you can fill in the blanks. By such and such a date, I will do X as indicated by Y. 2 things you need to work on. Now, if you email these 2 things to me at advantedgegreenbay@gmail.com, I will send it back to you in 3 months to help you assess your progress and hold you accountable. Sound good? Let's do it. Again, the more you interact with the material, the more you're going to remember and the faster you're going to learn. All right. If you liked this presentation, you may like my leadership book entitled Leadership Success in Spite of Stress. Long hours, tight deadlines, family obligations, no time to exercise, eat, sleep well, or reflect. Does any of this sound familiar? In Leadership Success in Spite of Stress, I offer my 20+ years of experience coaching business leaders and professionals struggling with demanding work schedules. It'll help you seek balance for a fulfilling personal life and successful career. This book is designed to help you break through your own glass ceiling and meet your leadership goals. It takes you through a series of solution-oriented questions designed to clearly define what it is you want to get and how to get it. The questions also help you identify when, where, and with whom you were successful in the past so you can do more of what worked and less of what doesn't. The hands-on practical information and self-assessment exercises in the book show you how to improve your productivity, save your time, honor your values and priorities, develop business savvy, delegate, improve your work relationships, and overcome perfectionism while increasing your assertiveness. This book also provides checklists that help you identify negative thinking habits and challenge those non-supportive, disempowering, self-defeating beliefs sabotaging your success. It helps you get out of your own way and finally take your foot off the brakes so you can achieve those long sought after goals that seemed beyond your reach. Pictured here in this slide are other trainings that we offer at Advantage Leadership Coaching. I want to ask you something though. When you first became a leader, did you imagine that having a team of people working for you would cause you so much stress, frustration, and agony? Did you envision being surrounded by people who complained, underperformed, and didn't do what they said they would? Did you imagine or think you'd feel pressure every day to make decisions that you're not confident making? Or did you believe you'd be getting quicker results and doing better than you're doing now? Regardless, you took the leap. You took the job or the promotion, or you started a business. And now you're getting less sleep, you're working harder than ever, and the amount of money you thought you'd be earning right now is nowhere close to your reality. What the heck is going on? Is it you? Is it your team? Is it your product or service? Why are you still struggling? Once COVID hit us, we were on a downward spiral. The team was frantic. Everyone was lost. We were missing deadlines and dropping projects. And employees were getting frustrated with the lack of support and attention they needed and deserved. Assuming the role as a leader, all I knew was how to coach and counsel business leaders, not how to lead a remote team. I never had to delegate, outsource, or manage, and I'd never worked remotely nor led anyone who teleworked in my life. It was a total nightmare. After some of my team members launched a revolution, my ego was crushed. Defensively, I pointed out to my mentor, "It's not me, it's my team. They can't get along and they won't listen to me or respect me or each other." He looked at me and said very calmly but sternly, "It doesn't sound like a team problem. It sounds like a leader problem." And then what he said next hit hard. He said, "Unlike what most people think, leaders are not born. They must learn to lead." I quickly realized that unless I wanted to continue being a one-person team, not succeeding, I absolutely needed to learn to become a great leader. So I read all the leadership books and online articles, listened to all the leadership podcasts, and watched all the leadership videos I could find. After all of that learning, I developed this course here. Here are some of the benefits of this content-rich online leadership course. In addition to increasing the engagement of your teleworking staff, material presented in the full-length online training program online course, you will learn characteristics of high-performing remote teams, how to create teamwork despite the distance, communicating effectively both virtually and in person, training your remote team, managing your virtual team confidently and competently, facilitating effective virtual team meetings, keeping happy, motivated remote teams, leadership pitfalls to avoid with virtual teams. Go from disaster to master, from zero to hero. This full-length program of high-performing remote teams that achieve results will give you insights you can put into place immediately. Check it out by going to our website, advantedgeleadershipcoaching.com. These products on this slide are available on our website as well. The theory behind these products: whatever you habitually tell yourself, even though it may be untrue, sinks down into your deep inner subconscious mind as true. And this creates your actions, experiences, and results. Once your deep inner subconscious mind expects or accepts something, it executes it. Even so, if you've conveyed negative beliefs to your subconscious, you can change by relaxing, visualizing positive outcomes, and listening to positive, constructive affirmations. What's most exciting is you can reprogram your subconscious mind and access 100% of your brain's power to learn anything quickly and easily. These audiobooks use advanced human performance technologies. We combine the powerful technologies of neuro-linguistic programming and whole brain learning. What makes our recordings unique? Number one, they focus not just on the specific skills referred to in each title, they also target the thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, assumptions, and conclusions critical to effective leadership. And number two, each title includes 2 tracks. You get 2 recordings for the price of 1. Track 1, Bedtime Bliss, relaxes you with ambient music, soothing nature sounds, and vocals. Track 2, Start Your Day in a Positive Way, is designed to be listened to immediately as you awaken to reinforce the concepts learned in Track 1. This allows you to reprogram your mind while you work and play, and maintain your goals when you listen to the recording as you drive, exercise, or conduct your everyday business activities. Remember, you can have all the best leadership tools, all the latest and greatest research at your fingertips, but if you have a weak, small toolbox, in other words, a self-defeating mindset, all the tools in the world aren't likely to bring you success. If you haven't been successful after attending training and paying expensive coaches or consultants, these recordings will help you overcome the negative or self-limiting beliefs blocking your progress. On this slide are a number of discounted products, starting with the Leadership Success in Spite of Stress book. Normally it costs $35, but for the next 5 days it is only $10. Our Leadership Development Self-Hypnosis audiobooks just described are normally $30, but for the next 5 days, only $9. The Leadership Success in Spite of Stress book and 2 Leadership Development Self-Hypnosis audiobooks, normally the investment is $95. For the next 5 days, it's only $25. Normally, our virtual or in-person leadership coaching is $800 a month, but for the next 5 days, we are offering that coaching for only $400 a month. So that's half of what you would normally pay. Our full-length, high-performing remote teams that achieve results is also discounted. Because I believe leadership is developed from the inside out, each of our products and services incorporate several self-assessments while challenging your negative, self-limiting, disempowering thoughts and beliefs. This is what makes our products and services super unique. In my coaching and training programs, I provide my clients plenty of opportunities to practice the skills learned. Unlike other self-proclaimed gurus, I address the inner game of leadership. You may ask, the what game? Yes, I said the inner game. My clients and trainees start by taking a disc, the Strengths Finder, and the Leadership Practices Inventory, a 360 feedback assessment. They then create an individual leadership development plan based on the results of these assessments. The other tools on this slide will continue to support and reinforce your learning. They are such great deals, though, that I can only do these deals or offers for the next 5 days. After that, it's back to the normal investment. Remember I said that I was going to reward you for staying to the end of this video? Well, right now I'm making the full-length, high-performing remote teams online course ridiculously affordable so that every one of you can take this online course packed transformational program. If you enroll right now, I'm going to give you the full-length, entire online course, not for the live event tuition of $1,000 or even the normal online tuition of $700, but for only $150. I'm going to let you have it for only $150 as a thank you for watching this introductory video, so that every single one of you can get it and succeed in your career with it. All you need to do is click the Add to Cart button right below this video, and it will automatically enroll you in the full-length, high-performing remote teams online course. Also, to make sure there is absolutely no risk to you, I'm going to give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. That means you can experience the program, do all the online course exercises with me, and if you aren't completely blown away with the lessons you are learning and the changes you are making and the results you're getting, just let me know and we will refund you every penny of your tuition. My programs aren't like most programs out there where they teach you what to do and then tell you to go do your homework on your own. No, this is an interactive program where we do everything, every step in the process, you and I together right on the spot during the online training. Because this program is online, there are no travel fees, no hotel fees, no extra expenses at all. When I teach the powerful concepts of this program live over 3 days, the regular tuition is $1,000. But since this program is online, I don't have the costs associated with a live seminar, so I can make the online tuition a lot less. That would normally be only $700. And I hope you agree that it's more than fair for a full-length transformational program like this. To make sure as many people as possible have the advantage of going through this powerful training. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm going to do something outrageous for you. You may even think it's a bit crazy for a business to do this, but for me, this is about more than just business. It's about making a difference in the world for aspiring leaders like yourself by helping you make a difference for yourself and others lives and careers. I'm going to reward you by making the full-length, high-performing remote teams online course ridiculously affordable so that each of you can take it. Now I'm going to do something a little insane as a one-time only offer, so here it is. If you enroll right now, I am going to give you the entire program, not for the live tuition of $1,000 or even the normal online tuition of $700, but only $150. All you need to do is click the Add to Cart button right below this video, and it will automatically enroll you in the full-length, high-performing remote teams online course. Have you ever wondered how you can stay in recovery from an addiction for good? Would you like to know how to overcome the obstacles to success and get out of your own way? Well, that's exactly what you'll learn in this podcast. Hear how executive recovery coaching is helping executives and other high-profile, high-paid leaders succeed and enjoy their recovery. This is cutting-edge recovery from the inside out. One of the most important parts of a leader's recovery is to keep learning. These podcasts are a perfect way to learn for even the busiest schedule. You can listen to episodes in the comfort of your own home, during your commute to work, on the go, any time that you need a little inspiration. Remember, people in recovery can't do it alone. Life doesn't end after you quit. Recovery is possible. With Leaders in Recovery podcast, you can do it. If you'd like to learn brief leadership lessons in a convenient format, Leadership Success Soundbites is our second podcast. These leadership podcasts are a perfect way to learn in even the busiest lifestyle. You can listen to each episode in the comfort of your home during your commute to work, on the go, anytime you need a little inspiration. Cutting-edge leadership coaching from the inside out. It provides more than just skill sets, mindsets too. It goes beyond information to transformation. Better leaders, better decisions, better results. We help you develop new skills you need as an effective decision maker. When it comes to your livelihood, the lives of your employees, and your reputation, making the best decision is vital. That's where Success Soundbites comes in. That concludes our program today. Have a great day and have a very productive week. Thank you.